Imagine this. It's 1776, and the American colonies are on the brink of declaring independence. While the Founding Fathers are penning the Declaration, the colony of Pennsylvania is cooking up something just as revolutionary. A state constitution so radical that it sparks controversy across the colonies. To get a handle on Pennsylvania's big move, let's rewind a bit. By 1776, the colony is brimming with revolutionary spirit. The Continental Congress is gathering in Philadelphia, talking about breaking free from Britain, and the city's buzzing with debates over liberty, justice, and what government should look like. But Pennsylvania isn't just a backdrop here, it's a hotbed of radical ideas. The idea is simple but bold. Let's make a government that's truly accountable to the people. But what does that look like? Well, Pennsylvania is about to find out in one of the boldest experiments of the time. Alright, so here's where the story kicks into high gear. It's the summer of 1776, and Pennsylvania's got a team of radical thinkers ready to draft their new constitution. The team includes people like Benjamin Franklin, yes, that Franklin, who brings in ideas that challenge traditional forms of government. Perhaps the most revolutionary part, they open voting rights to all free men who pay taxes. At a time when voting is generally restricted to property-owning men, Pennsylvania's move gives a voice to working-class men who'd usually be left out. This constitution is an embodiment of pure democracy, with mechanisms that allow the people to hold their government accountable at every turn. So why is this constitution a turning point? Well, it's basically a big middle finger to the traditional hierarchy. No aristocracy, no upper class holding exclusive power, just the people, electing leaders directly. The Constitution includes a council of censors, an elected body tasked with reviewing the government every 7 years, ensuring they stick to the Constitution and respecting citizens' rights. This system is revolutionary, but it's also risky. Without a second house to balance the legislature or a governor to provide executive oversight, critics are nervous. They're saying, wait, this is mob rule. Others argue that it's pure democracy in action. It's a daring move that plants the seeds of America's future political debates. Should government be tightly controlled by the people, or should there be checks to prevent any one group from having too much power? Alright, so what does Pennsylvania's 1776 Constitution actually do for the colonies and for the future United States? For one, it directly challenges the notion that only landowners should have a say in government. By extending the vote to tax-paying men, Pennsylvania's constitution makes democracy more accessible to everyday people, something that's practically unheard of in the 18th century. Other states take notice. While most aren't ready to embrace Pennsylvania's unicameral legislature, they are inspired by its push toward greater democracy. Pennsylvania's constitution becomes a model of possibility, even if it's not perfect. It also raises critical questions about balancing power, accountability, and individual rights that will shape the debates at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. Over time, though, Pennsylvania's radicalism gets reined in. By 1790, the state adopts a more conservative constitution, adding a bicameral legislature and an executive branch. But the spirit of the 1776 Constitution, the idea that government should serve the people, and that the people should have the power to hold leaders accountable, stays alive, influencing the evolving ideals of American democracy. Fast forward to today, and the Pennsylvania Constitution of 1776 is remembered as one of the boldest experiments in democracy during America's founding era. It was a government truly meant to reflect the will of the people, with innovations that even modern democracies are still wrestling with. Sure, it was short-lived, and its extreme form of democracy didn't last, but its impact, that's forever. The Pennsylvania Constitution of 1776 is a testament to the courage of radical ideas, showing that sometimes you have to push the limits to find a new way forward. This document challenged not only the British Crown, but also traditional ideas of power, governance, and representation, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire those who believe in government for the people. So what's the big takeaway from Pennsylvania's bold experiment in 1776? At its core, this story is about a state willing to challenge conventions and push the limits of democracy. It's a reminder that progress doesn't always come from cautious steps. Sometimes it's the risky, radical moves that lead to real change. The Pennsylvania State Constitution of 1776 didn't just influence its time, it set the stage for conversations about power and representation that we're still having today. So next time you hear debates about democracy and governance, remember Pennsylvania's daring leap into the unknown, and how that leap helped shape America's journey toward a more perfect union.